So you might remember how we did cover your ASP week earlier this year with active self-protection. ASP also does instructor training, and our very own Wendy Chou Hauffen has returned from their class and is on the line to talk about it.
But first, we are very proud to partner with the National Concealed Carry Association as a 10-ring partner. NCCA exists to serve the Second Amendment community by providing a nationwide network of 2A advocates. They offer elite self-defense and concealed carry training from the nation's top instructors, and they provide rock-bottom prices on the best selection of gear and accessories. You can learn a whole lot more at the National Concealed Carry Association.com.
Now, why can't we do lead-ins that perfectly every time? That almost looked like we have a radio show. That was really good.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, guys.
Wasn't much fun, though.
You guys are just making me look good in front of my boss here.
Yes, you are.
Speaking of my boss, Wendy Hauffen on the line. If you guys remember, we frequently have John Correa from Active Self-Protection on, and he is a wealth of knowledge. Active Self-Protection has a really cool training program that is, for people that want to be firearms instructors, but it's really intense and very, very thorough. And Wendy is currently going through that. She's the CEO of San Diego County Gun Owners, and she just spent a weekend in, was it South Dakota, Wendy?
Yes, it was.
South Dakota. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. So tell us all about ASP and their training program.
Sure. So it is a 6-month long course. It requires reading books and writing papers. And I just returned from our in-person session this past weekend, which marks just almost halfway point. And it was really, really fantastic.
Now, what makes theirs different from any other, what makes them unique and what makes them special and good?
That's a great question. So the program is actually very little about firearms and firearms training. We spent 3 days together, and there was a lot of talk about guns and a lot of camaraderie over guns we liked and we didn't like. But the program actually focuses on adult learning and how to better reach our students and make an impact in their lives.
I think we all know what gun you said you like and don't like. So we're not even going to get into that. Not on this show. All right. So, you've been, an instructor for years, right? When did you get certified to be a firearms instructor?
2014, I think.
2014. So you've been an instructor for years. You've taught a ton of students. Black Cat Firearms is the name of the company that you do a lot of instruction. Of course, you're also a chapter leader for Well Armed Women, right?
I am, yes.
And you're the founder and creator and head honcho of Not Me SD, and Not Me Riverside, Not Me Orange County. So you have a ton of experience. You've actually created programs, you've taught people, you've done a ton. So what did you gain from active self-protection? Or what are you gaining? You're not done yet, but what are you gaining from it?
That's true. I'm not quite done yet, but it is a really interesting perspective on how to better meet our students where they are. Everyone comes in to a training from a different place. And so we really did a lot of deep diving into how to better meet them where they are and how to really be able to connect with them at a really deep level, even in something as simple as a basic pistol course.
And there are volumes of books written on adult learning and teaching adults. It's a whole different thing. So I would imagine a lot of the focus was on how do you deliver a message? How do you deliver a message to an adult, especially with something as important as firearms training? What is different about teaching an adult, or what's something you picked up about firearms instruction from ASP so far?
Well, we come into a class as an instructor. You come in and you want to make sure that you're presenting the information that you want to get across. Now, the thing that is different with adult learning is that we all have different experiences that affect how we absorb information and how to better really take that information and take it with us on the road as students. So, we might have students who are really just curious about firearms and really want to get a new hobby. We might have somebody who had a scary experience. Maybe she had her house broken into or was attacked on the street. There's so many different places that people are coming from and different experiences that people have had that are changing how they're listening to the information that we're giving them.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. It's one of the things. So, we do our shooting socials, and we have a general shooting social for anybody. We have our Not Me shooting socials, which is typically for women. And then this morning we did our Guns and Moses shooting social, which is for a Jewish shooting group. And they pull people from all the synagogues all over San Diego. And I tell the the mentors, hey, this is a little bit different than the general shooting socials because they're really there. It's more of a purpose-driven education. It's more of a purpose-driven.
The Guns and Moses ones, right?
Yeah, the Guns and Moses. I mean, they're not just there to, hey, this might be fun. They're there because they believe that one day they're going to have to defend their lives. Mm-hmm. And the difference in how you interact with that person and how you interact with the person who's just like, it sounds fun. I'll try shooting a gun. It's huge. What advice would you have, somebody, maybe somebody at the shooting socials that helps us out, or maybe you're just somebody listening and you take your neighbors or coworkers or whatever to the range. What's some advice you have? Something that you learned from ASP or just something from your background in history? What's some advice you have when you're working with somebody brand new?
I think it's important to understand why they're there. This is something that I think a lot of instructors gloss over. It's really easy to say, oh, okay, you want to come in and learn how to shoot a gun. And that's as far as they get. But when you dive into that just a little bit more, and it only takes a couple of minutes, maybe 2, 3, sometimes 5 minutes to really figure out what their purpose is behind being there, it really changes how you approach it. And it changes the language that you use, whether you address, how to approach a self-defense incident versus, hey, this is what you would commonly see when you go, target shooting at the range. Those are two entirely different focuses that I might completely miss if I don't take just a few minutes to really understand what the student is really looking for out of the class.
Yeah, watching these shooting socials, short of some of the biggest trainers out there, I think I've had the pleasure in the last 6 years of San Diego County Gun Owners of watching more students learn than anybody I know, frankly. Maybe short of John Correa or some of these big time guys. It's enormously rewarding. I've never really seen a bad experience, and I think we've had, I don't know, Wendy, how many? I think it's safe to say we've had thousands of people go through these shooting socials.
Gosh, we do a lot of them.
We do a lot of them, and I've seen a lot of them. I don't do all of them, but I've seen a whole lot of them. And, the ability to not just show people, hey, this is a gun and here's a trigger and this is where a magazine goes, but the ability to really connect with somebody and figure out what their motivation is and why are they there and what's important to them makes that even better, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. If you had to think back, I'm putting you on the spot. If you had to think back, what's your most rewarding story about teaching somebody?
Oof. I haven't taught a ton in the last couple of years, but there was a time where I was doing a lot of teaching. Is it teaching me
grammar usually? Usually there's a lot of that. A lot of teaching me how to spell. And yeah, that's what I figured. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's just a constant grind there. But, I did spend a lot of time working with students, a lot more than I do currently, a couple years ago. And I think the biggest reward is when you see somebody who is really nervous and shy and really down on themselves because they feel like they can't do it, but they feel like they need to because of things that have happened in their lives. So they muster up the courage to come to this class, and they don't know anything about me when they show up, and they just take a leap of faith and assume that I'm going to help them. And they get on the range, or they get through a portion of the classroom section, and you can almost see them blossom because they realize that a lot of it is just about information and feeling and being able to understand what is happening, particularly when they're actually doing the physical shooting part, and being able to take that and say, like, hey, I can actually do this. This isn't some mythical thing out there that, the gun's going to explode in my hand, or whatever other myths that are out there. When they get there and they realize, hey, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I'm actually pretty good at it, and they get really excited, and they just start kind of glowing almost.
Yeah.
It's a little cliche, but watching those people overcome those confidence hurdles to realize that, hey, this is something that they can do, and they can be able to take that confidence and be able to protect themselves if they need to.
Okay, last question. So you were there with people from all over the country. You got to tell them all about San Diego County Gun Owners. From our conversation, you've said that they've already heard of us in some ways. What was their reaction to what you're doing with Not Me and to San Diego County Gun Owners and all the other PACs in general?
And how great Michael is.
No, nobody.
Yes,
not one person.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. I think the idea that we are making actual change at the local level is something that I think people forget that it's possible. So it's really exciting to see that they're really impressed with what we're doing.
And you're leading the way. Thank you,
Wendy. You are a superstar.
Thank you both.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. Sam the Gunman's coming up. And are you ready for this? We're going to have a spicy mic drop.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.